Hi, Julietta. Thanks for your email. I've got, I think, most of your questions here, and I think I'm probably going to have to make a second video in order to answer. I think there's still one more that I don't have a copy of here. So just to start with the first one, let me just make this smaller so I can write on here. So I think that your question in regards to this one is that they're asking you for n. And so here they're saying determine n. Now, capital N is the size of a sample. And in this case, with your probability to function defined the way it is, the capital N, the sample size, is on the bottom in the denominator. And they're defining it for x equal to 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So what they're saying is that we only have 4 values that we're going to consider for this probability function, and that makes n equal to 4. And it's as simple as that. Otherwise, it's equal to 0, the probability. So all 100% probability will be included for all 4 of those x values, the 2, 3, and 4. So n is just equal to 4 there. Okay, now your TV quiz question, if I can follow correctly from your email, it might be better in the future if you can send me the separate questions in a separate email just so I'm clear on what you're asking, because I think you're referring to set 3 and 4 and stuff. I think that might be at the top of the page. It might say set 3 and 4, but it doesn't say it on the pictures you sent me, and so I'm having a hard time figuring out which one's which. So for the TV question, you're asking, okay, just says you're a little lost on that one. Okay. What they're asking you in the question, what they're actually saying here is the probability of the contestant being correct in their answer to any given question is 60%. And we're going to write that as a decimal, 0.60. And so if you get this $1,000 bonus for answering 6 questions in a row correctly, the chance of winning the bonus is the chance or the probability of you being correct 6 times. So correct and correct and correct and correct and correct and so on. And you got to do that 6 times in order to win the bonus. Whenever you see this symbol, which is and in probability, it means multiply. And so in this case, we would have 0.60 times 0.60 and so on. And we would do that 6 times. An easier way to write that would be 0.60 or 0.6 to the exponent 6. And if you work that out on your calculator, that will be the probability of getting all 6 corrections, or all 6 questions correct. For this question, the summation notation, I didn't check your answer, but I think you've done it correctly for the first one. The first one is just asking you to add up all of the x's. So if you went down that column and added all those numbers and got 58, then you're right, okay? For the other questions, what the notation is telling you is to select different groups of the numbers that you see in the chart and do different things with them each time. For instance, if you're looking at B, what B tells you to do is start at the 6th term in the J series, or in the Y series, and go to the 12th term. So if we count down, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th term is 9, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12th term is 15. So I think what they're looking for there with that notation is us to add up all of the values like that, all the way up to 15, okay? For C, when it says k equals 1 to 6 of xk, yk, what they mean there is that we want the first 6 terms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll box it off here. We're just looking at those numbers. And what they want us to do is go across and multiply these guys together each time. And then add the answers as you go down the column. So I'll leave it up to you to do that, but that is what they're looking for. It's the sum of the x terms times the y terms for just 1 to 6 in the chart. So for D, what they're asking for is for you to start at the 4th term, end at the 7th term, and they want you to take 2 times the y value and 3 times the x value and subtract them. Okay, so I think probably the best way to approach that is to make a new chart for this guy. And starting at the 4th row would be 3, and then 2, and then 10. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So we start at the 4th term and we go to the 7th term. And the corresponding numbers for y there are 8, and then 3, 9, and 5, okay? So now I need 2 times y and 3 times x. So I might as well just create another chart. Let's do it in another color. 2 times y, 16, 6, 18, and 10. 3 times x, 9, 6, 30, and 18. And then I'm going to take this number and subtract this number each time in the chart. Okay, so I'm going to get 7, 0, negative 12, negative 8, and I'm going to add those up, and whatever sum I get, that is the answer to this summation notation question. Okay, so pretty tricky. They're just trying to test if you understand really what all those symbols mean and what they're telling you to do. So I think for the other question, if I've got everything sorted out so far, it looks like I've got one more question to do here, I think. And I'm going to do a second video because when these videos get long, sometimes they don't upload very well to the YouTube channel.